You think you want to live in Fight Club. You don't.
You don't know anything.
You like the aesthetic, the red leather jacket, the basement fists, the anti-capitalist poetry.
You have a kind of sick desperation in your laugh?
Advertising has us chasing cars and clothes, working jobs we hate so we can buy shit we don't need.
But if you actually woke up inside that world, you'd be concussed, chemically burned, federally indicted, and taking orders from a man who isn't real. Let's talk about why it absolutely sucks to live in Fight Club. You're broken before the story even starts. The world of Fight Club doesn't begin with rebellion. It begins with insomnia. The narrator isn't oppressed, he's hollow. Corporate job, catalog apartment, personality assembled from Swedish furniture. He can't sleep, so reality starts leaking. Instead of therapy,
You cry now.
he attends cancer support groups. He fakes testicular cancer so he can cry in strangers' arms. That's the baseline. This isn't a story about strong men breaking free. It's about emotionally starved men who don't know how to ask for help.
I'm gonna grab that little bitch Marla Singer and scream,
Marley, you liar! You big tourist! I need this! Now get out!
And if you live in that world, you're already spiritually malnourished before the first punch lands.
I am Jack's medulla oblongata. Without me, Jack cannot regulate his heart rate, blood pressure, or breathing.
The fights aren't cool. They're medical bills. Let's strip the romance out of it. No gloves, no doctors. No rules beyond don't talk about it. Repeated blunt force trauma to the head causes memory loss, impulse damage, mood disorders, permanent brain change. That cool black eye, that's a mild traumatic brain injury. You're not unlocking masculinity. You're unlocking early onset cognitive decline. And then there's the lie burn. Tyler pours chemical destruction onto the narrator's hand and calls it enlightenment. That's not philosophy. That's assault with a spiritual TED Talk. You leave with scars, and not the poetic kind.
Gentlemen, welcome to Fight Club.
Tyler Durden is a cult leader. Let's get honest.
First rule of Fight Club is, you do not talk about Fight Club. The second rule of Fight Club is, you do not talk about Fight Club.
Tyler isn't a freedom fighter. He's charismatic, sure. So is every cult leader who ever existed. Look at the structure. Rule 1, silence. Rule 2, obedience. Rule 3, erase yourself. They shave their heads. They give up their names. They chant in unison. His name is Robert Paulson.
His name is Robert Paulson. His name is Robert.
Identity dissolves. You become a space monkey. Translation: disposable labor for someone else's vision. You think you joined a brotherhood. You joined a hierarchy with better lighting. And here's the trick. He convinces you that surrender is liberation.
Our great war is a spiritual war.
That losing yourself is finding truth. That's not rebellion, that's recruitment. Project Mayhem is not a vibe, it's a felony.
Stuff? Where the midterms are?
This is where it stops being edgy and starts being prison time. Project Mayhem escalates from bar fights to organized sabotage, explosives, blackmail, structural destruction. They blow up financial buildings. It looks poetic. It's terrorism. In the real world, people die in building collapses. Firefighters die. Janitors die. Night security guards die. You don't get a slow motion ending with a Pixies soundtrack. You get federal charges and a concrete cell. And here's the dark joke. You destroyed capitalism. Now you own nothing, including your future. Your mind turns against you. The twist isn't clever. It's horrifying. Tyler isn't real. He's a dissociative fracture. Insomnia plus repression plus rage equals psychological split. In that world, you don't heal, you divide, you lose hours, days, control of your own body. Imagine waking up and discovering you started a terrorist organization while blacked out. That's not enlightenment. That's catastrophic mental collapse. And the worst part? Tyler represents everything you secretly wanted to be. So now you can't even trust your own desire.
Our fathers were our models for God. If our fathers bailed, what does that tell you about God?
No, I don't.
Listen to me.
The philosophy sounds good until you finish the sentence. You are not your job, true. You are not your bank account, also true. Self-destruction is the answer. That's where it derails. The film critiques consumerism brilliantly, but Tyler's solution is annihilation. He doesn't build meaning, he burns structures. It's easy to destroy a corrupt system. It's harder to construct a better one. In Fight Club, there is no blueprint for rebuilding, only rage dressed up as wisdom. That's not philosophy. That's despair with good lighting. Everyone around you pays the price. Let's talk about collateral damage. Marla, she's depressed, lost, searching for connection. Instead, she gets gaslit by a man fighting himself, dragged into chaos she didn't consent to.
I have more of a right to be there than you. You still have your balls.
In the world of Fight Club, your existential crisis becomes everyone else's problem. Your collapse spreads. You don't implode quietly. You detonate socially. The final irony. Here's the punchline. Tyler hates systems, but he builds one. Rules, uniforms, hierarchy, obedience. It's corporate culture with bruises. You thought you were escaping slavery. You just switched managers. The rebellion becomes the thing it despised. That's the tragedy. So why does it suck to live in Fight Club? Because you're spiritually empty, physically damaged, psychologically fractured, legally doomed, morally compromised, and led by a hallucination. The movie is brilliant. A small part of you still finds Tyler inspiring. That's why the film works. So, still want to get in Fight Club? You think you want to live in Fight Club. You don't want the job. You don't want the insomnia. You don't want the chemical burns. You want the feeling. You want that first punch in the basement. That moment where the noise in your head finally goes quiet. That's what this movie sells. And that's why it's dangerous.
Because the person who wrote that is dangerous.
Let's go deeper. The crisis of modern masculinity. Here's the part nobody wants to say out loud.
What?
Things you own end up owning you.
Fight Club hit a nerve because it arrived at the end of the 20th century when a lot of men felt displaced.
Nice big cock.
Industrial jobs were disappearing, corporate life was replacing physical labor, strength wasn't required anymore, compliance was. Historically, masculinity was tied to war, labor provision.
Without pain, without sacrifice, we would have nothing.
Physical dominance.
Okay. Any historical figure?
I fight Gandhi.
Good answer.
Then suddenly masculinity was answering emails. You go from building railroads to optimizing spreadsheets. That shift creates identity confusion.
You keep me on the payroll as an outside consultant.
Sociologists have written about this, the crisis of masculinity, when traditional roles dissolve faster than new ones form. Enter Tyler Durden. He offers pain, brotherhood, hierarchy, ritual.
You do not talk about Fight Club. Third rule of Fight Club. Someone yells stop, goes limp, taps out. The fight is over.
In other words, structure. And men are attracted to structure when they feel unmoored. That's not stupidity, that's psychology. But here's the problem. Tyler's solution is regression. He doesn't evolve masculinity. He drags it backward into violence. Why men today still worship Tyler.
And the eighth and final rule. If this is your first night at Fight Club, you have to fight.
Look at modern internet culture. Hyper-masculine influencers, alpha male podcasts, anti-consumerist rants mixed with luxury branding. It's Tyler Durden with Wi-Fi. The appeal is simple. Tyler speaks with certainty, and certainty is intoxicating in chaotic times when politics feel unstable, when economies feel rigged, when social roles feel blurred. A man who says, I know what's wrong, follow me, feels like oxygen. Psychologically, this is called identity foreclosure. You adopt a rigid belief system because ambiguity is unbearable. Tyler eliminates ambiguity. He gives you rules, and rules feel like safety, but safety through obedience isn't freedom. it's dependency.
I will. I want to know certain things first.
First rule of Project Mayhem.
Shut up.
The philosophy. Nihilism versus existentialism. Tyler flirts with nihilism. Nothing matters. Everything is temporary. Only after disaster can we be resurrected. That sounds deep, but it's half-digested philosophy. Existentialists like Sartre argue that life has no inherent meaning, but we must create our own. Tyler skips the creation part. He stops at destruction. That's nihilism. And nihilism is seductive because it removes responsibility. If nothing matters, you can burn anything, but existentialism's harder. It says, nothing matters, so build something anyway. Tyler chooses annihilation over authorship. That's the difference, and that's why living in his world sucks. Because there's no construction plan, only demolition. The psychology of violence as connection. Why do the men feel alive when they fight? Because pain's grounding. In trauma psychology, physical sensation can interrupt dissociation. The narrator feels unreal. Fighting makes him feel solid. It's primitive regulation. But here's the catch. When violence becomes your only method of feeling alive, you're conditioning your nervous system to require harm for clarity. You don't heal, you escalate. That's why Fight Club becomes Project Mayhem. Pain tolerance turns into moral numbness. What Tyler got right. Now let's be fair. Tyler wasn't entirely wrong. He identified real problems. Consumer identity replacing personal identity, men isolated from meaningful community.
Now a question of etiquette. As I pass, do I give you the ass or the crutch?
Corporate culture flattening individuality. Emotional repression disguised as professionalism. He tried to create brotherhood, honesty, presence, freedom from material obsession. Those instincts are valid. Ritual, shared struggle, physical challenge, these things matter. The problem wasn't the diagnosis, it was the prescription. Instead of channeling frustration into craftsmanship, art, service, or discipline, he chose chaos. He turned meaning into mayhem. That's the tragedy. Modern America and the political landscape. Now let's talk relevance. In polarized political climates, people feel unheard. When institutions lose trust, media, banks, government, people look for alternative authority. Tyler's alternative authority, he doesn't debate, he declares.
Everything's a copy of a copy of a copy.
And in unstable environments, declaration feels powerful. You can see echoes of Fight Club thinking in modern extremism, anti-system rage, desire for collapse, romanticize and burn it down energy, the fantasy of resetting everything. But history shows us something simple. Power vacuums don't create utopia. They create chaos, and chaos is rarely kind. Fight Club captures that temptation, the desire to watch it all fall. But it doesn't show the decades of fallout after the fall.